If Marvel had never dropped that Avengers Doomsday chair reveal video, we have to ask ourselves, what would we truly know? Better yet, how distorted would our theories truly be about what we wouldn't? I'd like to think we might have the answers.
But before we get into today's video, if you want to become a real one, enjoy the day one real one community, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that like button.
We are your distorted theorists, so get ready as we prepare for Avengers Doomsday. We need to take this back all the way to July 27, 2024 for the logo reveal of Avengers Doomsday. And, of course, Peter, you know what I need to talk about here. The reveal that we do know of who Victor Von Doom is going to be, which is Robert Downey Jr.
The worst reveal. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a neat storytelling aspect of Robert Downey Jr. being Doom. But my God, they had the opportunity to just keep their mouths shut, do the marketing and not.
But, okay, obviously mixed reviews, we know that. We had our own theories and thoughts as well. What do you think that Marvel revealed this so early?
Because I think it was the old Cyberpunk 2077 CD Projekt Red situation. There were people that were just chomping at the bit, frothing at the mouth, and they were like, finally, we're going to reveal something. To this day, I don't think that they were totally prepared. I think it might have been like a last-minute decision to reveal Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, so, for those who follow everything Marvel, we know we were supposed to get the Kang Dynasty, which ultimately got nixed now, which changed to Avengers Doomsday. What do you think this reveal did for the franchise, or the film specifically, that they felt like we need to pull the trigger on this to let people, like the fans, know that we're still good to go here? I
think it gave some sort of finality in terms of, like, this is what's happening. Yeah. But I think they could have done it again without the reveal of RDJ. When you watched the whole reveal, they had the Doom bots or whatever, and everyone was Doom behind.
I love that, by the way. I love that.
And then he came out and did the big reveal, which everyone was like, "Oh my God!"
The aura, that man,
aura. And that's really and truly, he passed the vibe check. But there was so much that was into that just when it happened, people were like, okay, now we know it's Doomsday.
Right.
Because where it was like, we're going to do the Kang Dynasty, I'm like, well, we're not going to do that anymore, but now we're going to do Doomsday.
Speaking a little freely, and ourselves somewhat included in a lot of cases, Marvel had been doing a lot of dips and runs and luns. Do you think that this reveal and the announcement of this film ultimately turned the Marvel fans that were starting to become naysayers back around? Like, did you think the ones that were being lost, they were like, hold on a minute, I got to go back to the,
Potentially, I think really and truly, like, this is, I don't think that Disney/Marvel were too worried about people leaving and not coming back, because they're fun movies. We overanalyze everything and be like, oh my God. Yeah. Like Quantumania wasn't a terrible movie, but we are looking at the big, like, the
bar is here.
Yeah, we followed Infinity War and Endgame, and then we got Quantumania. Like, no, if Quantumania if they didn't have any of the other Avengers movies and everything, and we just had 3 Ant-Man movies, probably would have been the weakest out of the 3, but it still would have been like, okay.
Yeah, I think we were looking for puzzle pieces.
It's no Rise of Skywalker.
No, I think we were looking for puzzle pieces to give us the bigger picture. But I feel like a couple of those films they didn't emphasize anything. But with this Robert Downey Jr. reveal, again, being the first thing, which is very strange because we're used to the teasers, the trailers, which we'll get to in a few moments. Do you think Robert Downey Jr. was the right choice to go here? Do we think?
So I do, in a manner of speaking. I do think that he would have been fantastic, and the amount of security, if they hadn't announced him, and everything was going forward, and everything had signed their NDAs, and they had massive security, no one could take pictures. And if that had, because the marketing could have been done, and we could just we haven't seen anything yet, really.
Right.
But in terms of, at the end of Fantastic Four, we see Doom, but we don't see Doom. We just see somebody. Was that truly Doom? There's no way to tell.
No way to tell.
Was it a Doom
Right.
bot? Was it someone else? There's no way to know. So in any of the trailers, if there was any time that there was a Doom, the dude's wearing a mask anyways. They
Yeah.
could have heavily modified
Yeah.
the voice, and they could have had that until he like takes it off, and then he's like, and he could still be talking without the mask and be like, wait a minute, that sounds like, and just. Could you?
And I know, and that's
imagine?
what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about could you imagine? But before we get into all the stuff that followed this, do you think this was the right move, the right character, the right title that Marvel had to go with
Yes.
for success right now?
I'm not like I've been trying to think about like all the big events and everything that has happened, and in terms of like House of M, that could have been good, but we haven't established the X-Men yet, so they couldn't just dive into that.
Right.
And if you wanted to do, I'm just trying to think like Spider-Man, because that's the ones that I follow, but like with Spider-Man, there's like Spider Island and everything like that, but you can't really.
So, yeah, you needed.
You need to have something that's going to bring tension and bring stakes in for everybody, and Doom is one of them because Doom is
He's notable.
Yeah.
Like people, like that's the thing. We got glimpses of Thanos before he arrived. They are basically dropping Doom on us, basically giving us the fans credit that you know who Doom is.
yeah. We don't need like because Thanos. When I won't lie, at the end of what
Avengers.
Well,
When we first
oh
seen them.
yeah, true it was.
Yeah.
And everyone went, oh
Yeah.
I was in the theater going, who's that guy?
Exactly.
I didn't know. I know
Not
who
with this guy.
I know who Dr. Doom is. I have known who Dr. Doom is since I was very small. So it's, yes, I think this is the right choice. I just hope
Same.
that we do Doom justice. And I'm really, as much as Doomsday is going to be an absolute mind screwball, I'm not going to swear, but I'm really excited to see where Secret Wars goes because one of my favorite events happens in Secret Wars in the comics, and
Well, this is why we tell the folks to subscribe for that video when we talk about him getting the black suit.
yeah.
Peter, at this point, it was a year later, I think, almost a year later, 9 months, 10 months, the chair reveal happened. But of course, as per the title of this, we're ignoring that because we're going to talk about that towards the end of the video is why Marvel did that. So moving onward to December 23rd, 2025. The very first trailer. We would have not had any idea about any announcements, any chair reveals. They started with the big man himself, who wasn't even on a chair.
No.
Chris Evans. Start us off. What did that give us when we seen that trailer? If we had not known about the chairs.
One, it gave us hope. But two,
Yep.
it gave us nothing.
Yep.
Because in that trailer, or teaser, or tease, or
Yep.
whatever it
Yep.
was, the 23 seconds of...
With the baby.
And even, but you only see his face for like 7 seconds or something
Yeah,
like that. You just see someone
it's a
walking and
glimpse.
they're like, what is this going to be? And people, you can extrapolate and
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
that out.
But you'll note, I want to make this
There's
clear.
no shield. There's no helmet. There's no suit. We don't
seen
know
Chris
that-
Evans.
Yeah.
We want to make that very clear.
We didn't see Peggy. We just saw a baby. So we don't know that this is Captain America. This could still be
It could be
Captain
It could be
Hydra.
Hydra. It could be Hydra. But leaning on what would we know? So at this point, we would have not had a chair reveal. We would have got this trailer. Chris Evans wasn't even, I want to touch, Chris Evans wasn't even on the chairs anyway. So why did Marvel do this big chair reveal? Again, we're pretending we don't know about it at this point. Do this big chair reveal and then give us Chris Evans, who wasn't even on the chair reveal. Why would you do that?
Because
why not just put him on the chair?
I think it's more so the continuation of the effect. Because again, they didn't
Like
need
the
to.
effect, you think? Like that jaw drop?
Well, no, it's like if they hadn't announced RDJ,
Right.
then they wouldn't have needed to announce Chris Evans. We
Right.
could have had a Deadpool Wolverine moment.
Right. I like that.
You know?
Yeah.
That would have been it. But the fact that they kind of did what they did and revealed RDJ, then it's like, well, people got excited for that and they're starting to form their theories.
Yeah, we as well, obviously.
So then, like, well, that was Iron Man.
Yep.
Why don't we bring in Captain America?
Or Chris Evans.
But that's what I mean.
yeah,
So
I
like
got you.
they're bringing someone in to be like someone from the original thing, which we'll touch on in our next point as well.
So at this point, no chair reveal has happened. We see Chris Evans. What are we thinking at that point that was going to happen in Avengers Doomsday?
He's back.
You just think, like, do you think the majority and fans included, our
Initially.
viewers, would have been, oh my God, Captain America's back?
Yes,
Or
initially. That would have been the first gut reaction because that's who we associated with. We don't associate with Johnny Storm anymore because he turned into a pile of goo.
That's true. That's true.
But we immediately associate him with Captain America in the MCU. So like, all right, well, there we go.
So
there's big good one.
Do you think, had the chair reveal not been on anyone's mind, that we seen RDJ now announced officially at this point, no chair reveal, as we said, skipping over that, we now see Chris Evans. Do we automatically assume that all original Avengers are coming back at that point? Like, what do you think we were thinking?
In a manner of speaking, it's like, okay, we're putting the band back together. So okay, so now we're gonna get Thor.
Right.
So we did.
Yeah, we did. We'll get there in a second.
And then, so then we're going to see Hawkeye, we're going to see Hulk, and we're going to see everyone else in some way, shape, or form. But what are they going to do for Scarlet? What are they going to do for Black Widow, for Natasha?
Because there's a few names that would have been on our theory list that were like, are they just bringing back everyone who was left over at Endgame? That seems like a bit of a copy-paste. Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Like Bucky is with the new Avengers, so like, all right.
You know, the good thing about this video, and I hope anyone watched as well, is like we are kind of trying to distort our reality right now to try to put ourselves in shoes that we weren't in, because without the chair reveal, we had no foreknowledge of who was coming, what was coming. At this point, we had RDJ and Chris Evans. December 30th, 2025, 1 week to the day, I guess the second teaser, if you're not counting Robbie Downey Jr.'s reveal,
that wasn't really
dropped online, revealing love and Chris Hemsworth's return to the MCU. Again, without the chair reveal, what are we thinking when we first seen that? What would have been your initial gut reaction? We've seen RDJ, we've seen Chris Evans, we've seen Chris Hemsworth.
I won't lie, my first thought of when I was seeing that was, well, this is going to be the end of Thor.
Yeah.
Because it's for one last fight.
Yeah.
All Father, give me the strength. And to hear that, I was just like, oh, but it was, again, kind of like, see, I think bringing the band back. So now they're going to bring back Hulk.
But again, put yourself in the shoes now, because he was, if I'm not mistaken, the first name on the chair reveal. You removed that from the timeline, if you will. How shocked would we as fans have been to see him? Do you think the reaction would have been greater, worse than?
Are you talking about if we had seen him in the movie without seeing the teaser?
No. If we didn't see the chair reveal,
we
had no idea he was coming back.
And
then they dropped the teaser. Would it had the same effect, or were at this point with the chairs, we were like, there he is, we knew he was coming. What do you think would have been if the chair wasn't revealed?
With Chris Evans being revealed in the last one, and then like again what I'm saying with like putting the band back together, and then there's Chris Hemsworth, and we're like, oh God, it is happening.
Yeah,
I was right.
I totally agree. We would have been like, check, the theories were right. They're getting the band back together. The only insert to that, if you will, is Love was present in the trailer, so we would have now known. I don't assume she's going to have a titular role, but we would have seen that she is still continuity present in going into Avengers Doomsday as well.
And he even mentions it in the speech as well that he's giving to the All-Father, but like he's got someone to protect now. He's got someone to fight for, because in reality, he has lost his brother, he has lost his father, he's lost his mother, he's lost his home, he's lost his people. He's the only one left beyond Valkyrie. And so now he's like, I'm fighting for love. So now there's the stakes, because before he was revenge, now he's being the protector.
Yeah. Now, we knew, obviously, Doom is the main antagonist here. Thor is now being joining the fight. Again, without the chair reveal, we have there's some massive powers on those chairs. Thor being still the strongest, debatable, maybe, who knows?
He's a god,
but we know now, at that point, we would have known that Thor was joining the fight. How would we as fans felt going into Avengers Doomsday that he's going to be helping out? Like, do you think that the threat dropped a little? Do you think we're like, oh, that's going to be some good screen time eating right there?
I would have felt in a manner of speaking that I feel confident, but I know something's going to happen because I know the name of the second Avengers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, I feel after what happened with Infinity War and before we got Endgame, is that how this is going to end? I know it's not going to be quite the same, because we still have Marvel movies or Marvel shows or something to become between Doomsday and Secret Wars, right?
Yeah, so the thing is with Thor, I think for me, if I had seen that trailer as the second teaser after the Chris Evans, I would have been under a very good impression that, like you said, getting the band back together. But Thor has always been, I think, a little of an OP character, even in the movies. I know in the comics he's definitely very, 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 very strong. But the way he presented himself in that teaser, I think would have shined some doubt on what we thought.
Because he's fearful.
Yeah, because we would have been like, RDJ's back. Sick. Okay, he's doing Doom. Ooh, Chris Evans back. Big powerhouse. Thor's back. Oh, Father, please protect me. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Something's off. Yeah.
Right? And of course, at this point, one thing we would know without the chair reveal is that scene with him and Deadpool, which is still on people's mind, where he was crying. So
why was Thor crying?
But again, having said that, without knowing the chair reveal, which in hindsight, 2020 didn't contain Ryan Reynolds, he had long hair in that film on the Deadpool. His hair was cut in this trailer. Do you think we would have embellished on that at all?
Nah.
We would have let it slide?
Yeah.
And then the big one comes next.
Yeah.
New year, new teaser. January 6th, 2025, a week after we got Chris Hemsworth's Thor, the biggest teaser that it would have, in my opinion, rocked.
It was. I wasn't
Right?
expecting, like, we knew that the mutants were going to be part of the MCU in some way, shape, or form, but I wasn't expecting to see the OGs.
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and maybe the biggest one that would have been revealed, James Marsden.
The biggest one would have been, it would have been snipped.
Yeah.
I know we're not
No, what I'm saying is, out of the three revealed in that teaser at that time, without knowing the chairs, even Ian McKellen would have been, holy shit. But when we seen the comic accurate James Marsden.
Yeah, in between the feet of a...
Which, let's be fair, seeing the comic, even with the chair reveal, we knew James Marsden was coming. We didn't know the Cyclops suit was coming. Do you think that would have just been dialed up that much more had we known nothing about the chair reveal when we seen the X-Mansion come into sight? We seen Patrick Stewart wheeling down the hallway. We seen Magneto sitting next to a chessboard, Ian McKellen. Then all of a sudden we're seeing comic accurate Cyclops rip off the thing. I'm getting goosebumps now even just emphasizing on this.
But I wanted more because I want to see Storm.
Maybe
as much as I'm saying like, it would have been bigger if we had. I wanted to see, because they were like the head of everything. Jean is, she's done.
Yep.
But like Storm was a big part of the trilogy as well, as much as Wolverine was. But we've already gotten our taste of Wolverine with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Personally, just my opinion, my theory here, I think had we not seen the chair reveal and knew nothing about them coming, I think this trailer would have been what immediately, I think this is what would have immediately made everyone like,
I'm on board.
All turn like this to look at Doomsday and like we are headed straight for the road to that.
Sentinel. Jeez, I couldn't remember the name of the robots.
And we didn't know any other, like with the chair reveal. Unfortunately, we know what others we're going to see, but with this, we erased that. We're back to the original three. The X-Mansion's crumbling down. What would we then had walked away from that trailer thinking like, holy shit, we have the chance to see XYZ. What would our thoughts have been? Man, I'm amped up here just talking about it because it's so cool.
I'm expecting to see the X-Men get their ass kicked, because if that's what it is, I don't think it's a vision. I don't think this is a danger room aspect. I think this is them getting their asses handed to them because they're like, we're done. We got this. We've dealt with Doom.
Yeah. And I think this is where the theoretical floodgates would have just opened on channels like, and I'm not afraid to say
Thanos is coming. That's this moment.
Like new rock stars would have gone crazy with that stuff. But comic accurate suits would have been the first. I think let's focus on that for a second. Although Professor X and Magneto, again, allegedly, were not in their suits per se. They were more tattered, if you will. James Marsden comes on screen with the comic accurate suit, even if we assumed we were going to get more X-Men on screen, maybe Wolverine, but maybe Jean Grey, maybe Rogue, maybe Iceman, whoever, would we have been expecting to get a full palette of original suits?
Yeah, I think
we would have been like,
I think we would have seen X-Men 97 suits.
That's a high bar. X-Men 97 is coming soon.
But that's what they are. That's what I expect to see when I look at Cyclops. I expect to see the blue and the green, the yellow goggles. I expect to see the green with Rogue and with the little tiny jacket that ends right at our armpits.
I do agree though. I do agree that I think I also would have been expecting or wanting to see Storm. Like that's would have been my next question. Like, okay, we got those. Who else are we freaking getting? Because I don't think Wolverine or Deadpool would have been like on the radar. Because at this point, even though the chairs didn't list their names, Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman, we would have expected at this point that they could be in Avengers Doomsday. Now we're getting the X-Men OGs. I think I would have been like frothing and like, are we getting Halle Berry? Again, hindsight 2020, not even on the chairs, but I would have went for it.
Oh my God.
Famke Jensen, I can't even say her name, I apologize.
Famke Jensen.
Yeah. Jean Grey.
Jean Grey or, oh my God.
Well, which character?
Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, that wouldn't even been on my radar.
And
think about that. You at home, be honest.
God, why can't I remember
You
any of the
cannot say
names?
that some of these characters that were announced, again, if we go 2020 on the chair reveal, you wouldn't expect to see, what's his name, Cummings?
Alan Cummings.
Alan Cummings as Nightcrawler. That wouldn't even been on our radar.
the silver
and I don't
guy?
care. Colossus?
Colossus.
Yeah.
I am blanking on all of the X-Men right now.
And like, are we getting, I'm terrible with his name, but his name is like Cumnan, the original, not the one from Deadpool. Oh man, I'm gonna knock his name. But anyway,
Who?
The
What
original
does he play?
Cyclops from the original X2 and X3.
Cyclops, James Marsden.
No, sorry, Colossus, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
misspeaking
because
here.
he was played by two different people in
Yes,
X2 and
but,
X3.
but no, they were the same.
Were they?
Yeah, his name was Comden or something. I apologize.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, we would have been...
Angel?
But again, these
Is it Angel?
But see, they won't been on our radar because they were dead in that old universe, right? But I think the next question that would have been on everyone's mind is, and I want to ask you, how would we have thought that was possible? When the reveal happened, we had no idea about the chairs. How do we know that? How are they doing this right now? How is this even possible?
From the Marvels. Because we saw Beast.
You think?
Yes.
Do you think we would have made that connection? Because we would have known Beast was in the universe.
Well, I did.
No, I know, but he's not announced for Avengers Doomsday.
No.
Again, removing the chair reveal, right? Because Kelsey Grammer was on there. But we would have seen him. We would have had knowledge of Beast.
But
do you think we would have connected the dots being like...
I did because, well, I'm not saying I'm like on a different level, but because we've already laid the groundwork. We knew that the mutants were coming. That's why everyone keeps saying, like, when are we going to see mutant? When mutant? Where mutant?
Right.
And so when they revealed the X-Men, I'd be like, oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
This isn't a multiverse of madness thing.
Yeah.
This is what we saw Beast with Photon.
Photon and...
oh my God.
it's going to escape us, but anyway.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
But so we saw, then I was like, okay, that's where they're from. Sick, done.
With the reveal of the OG X-Men, we would have essentially been like, everything's on the table here. This is the moment that Avengers Doomsday, everything's on the table. Without the chair reveal, because none of them were on it anyway, do you think you, them, or anyone else like myself in the world would have expected first-class characters?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Again, I would love to see it, but the hard part about doing that is actors cost money.
Oh, 100%. I mean, 100%.
So the more people
you've seen
you
the
bring
lineup.
into
In
this,
hindsight 2020, we've seen the lineup. We know the money.
You see the cast. You can see like there's like the more people are, the more it's going to cost because people are like, he did them. So I would expect that the more people that they have, it's like, well, we're paying you less, so you're just going to get.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the hard part. There is part of me, and this is something that I want to talk about later, but I do want to see Quicksilver because.
Please, Evan. Please.
Then I'm not gonna. There's a reason why, but there's I think a question that we've talked about that we were gonna ask me later, and there's a reason that I want to see Quicksilver, and I'm gonna just let that stew, and maybe you can get there before Justin does.
Well, there's still a few more characters left to talk about. One more week later, Marvel, another teaser. This time, bringing us back to. I think would have threw us off a little bit because we're going back to Wakanda. It was the fourth teaser and final as to date that would have brought in Letitia Wright as Letitia Wright. Don't correct me on our channel. As of course Black Panther. Again, we assume she's carrying up the mantle, returning with M'Baku and Namor. But the biggest thing
that was a twist.
But the bigger twist is Ben Grimm's The Thing showing up now. We know that the Fantastic Four was actually, and we would have known this, regardless of the chair reveal, because of their end credit scene, it said the Fantastic Four will return in Doomsday.
And
so,
Thunderbolts, we do see their ship come in as well.
Yes, but, as I said to you as well, the Thunderbolts do not allude that they are going to be in Avengers Doomsday. We could assumptively make the connection, but there is no explicitly, and while we're excluding them...
You just make up a word.
I don't know, explicitly? Explicitly?
Well, that too. Assumptively?
Assumptively. I don't know. I feel like we're making things up here. We're theorists. But oddly enough...
All words are made up.
But listen, oddly enough, seeing Ben Grimm here wouldn't have been as jarring as it could have been because we were alerted to this, you know, at the end of the Fantastic Four. But him being in Wakanda was being like a...
Well, no, we don't know that they're in Wakanda.
Well, assumptively.
Stop saying that word.
Assumptively. But I think the biggest thing here is...
It was just a desert. And the other part that bothered me was how calm. It was just like, hey, I'm Ben Grimm. And then they just...
oh, okay. That's the thing, right?
It's another intergalactic, interdimensional...
Without the chair reveal, this would have been our first alluding to that we were getting Shuri returning, okay? We were going to get M'Baku back and Namor. So that would have been a reveal that, yes, we've seen it on the chairs, but if we removed that from the timeline, how shocked do you think we would have been seeing those characters returning? I say probably not very much.
No.
Because they were so fresh or somewhat fresh to the continuity of the Marvel Universe. But how do you think it would have impacted us seeing it one more time?
I don't know. Like, it would have been like, oh, okay. But I won't lie. I was really and truly thinking that when they're like, oh, here comes the teaser. I'm like, this is the teaser for Doomsday.
Okay.
And it was like, here we go. Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like, oh, this is what it. There's been... I was, oh,
well, I think, yeah, I agree. I don't think a lot of us were gobsmacked in our chair when we seen Shuri and all in return. We were like, oh, okay, we're getting them back. You know,
confirmation.
We like these, and you know, Namor getting somewhat of a different comeuppance, maybe on the hero side, possibly.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little change because he is powerful. But I think the biggest question we would have had at that time, no chair reveal, is where do these puzzle pieces of Ben Grimm and Shuri fit together? Why were they revealed in the teaser together? Do you think?
I think it's because I feel that each of these teasers are the team leaders.
Okay.
So I think that there's going to be like a four-pronged attack in some way, shape, or form against Doom, and
all leading a charge from different.
Yeah, Thor is going to have his group.
Yeah.
And
fair enough.
Chris Evans may... I don't know. We don't know where that is.
He could be like with Thunderbolts or something.
He could be with Doom.
You know, and we want to make it clear for anyone who is watching right now, we realize and want to acknowledge, just before we go any further, that the CinemaCon trailer played, but it's not online yet as the time of this recording. So we're not really factoring that in right now because it's kind of hearsay.
I don't know anything.
And we haven't even,
I remember when it was
we know it exists.
And I saw the thread on Reddit.
So I just want to make that clear because someone may be like, dude, it's confirmed that Chris Evans, you know what I mean, or whatever. But we want to let you know it's not online. To us, as of this recording, it's not official yet. So seeing Namor and Shuri, not on the same screen per se, because they're not next to each other, but in the same trailer, what are we assuming from that trailer? That they're on good terms since Wakanda Forever?
It could be a prisoner of war, or it could be part of, like, I don't know, community service. I don't know, like...
Well, like, do you think they're working together, or are they just being partial? Like, or what's the word I'm looking for when two people...
Civil.
Civil, yeah. Do you think they're just being civil?
Because that's kind of what the Illuminati were like in the comics, is just like, they were all these, like, powers, and we're just like, we come together in times of crisis, and we deal with it, and then if someone pisses one of them off, like, I just get up and leave.
Join the fray. But... Okay, so knowing that those two power, like the Wakandans and the Talokin, is it? I always hate pronouncing that as well. But knowing that they're in such a spot, why would the Fantastic... Because again, we're seeing Ben Grimm. Let's theorize and assume that maybe all the Fantastic Four are in that location. Why would they come there? What connection do you think they would have? Is it a random, we just traveled to this universe, we just pitched down, and hey, there's Black Panthers over there.
I think
or is there like some intent there?
No. I think it was just literal, like, we're coming up on the planet now. This is Earth 616 or the 83399 or whatever it was, and their engine just goes, and they just land in the desert. Because
they do seemingly get on a ship at the end of that teaser, so we would have been seeing the armies forming, we'll say, some allegiances, if you will. What do you think the mission is there? Why did Marvel show us that? What is the mission?
Doom.
You just think someone's being made aware? Is it kind of like a Hulk coming back from Thanos being like, the Force is coming, like you said earlier? And maybe Ben Grimm is saying, there's a guy, Doomsday.
Doom.
Dr. Doom. He's coming. We need your army. Who do you know? Can we call him? Get the cell phone out. Do you think that's what we ultimately were getting
Get the pager out, call Miss Marvel.
You think?
Could be.
And Peter, that would have been all we, I guess, officially on paper knew about Avengers Doomsday. Still would know to this day had the chair reveal not happened. But now I do have a few questions. We have a few questions for yourself and the audience out there, our fans. Do we think Marvel, by doing the chair reveal, now let's pretend it has happened or when it happened, do you think Marvel killed a lot of the Avengers Doomsday mystery before we even got off the ground with that? Why did they do that?
Well, for hype. And I think what they were doing
Do
is
you
they
think it
were...
achieved that? Do you think it worked then?
Yes,
If
in
you're
a
gonna say
manner
that.
of speaking, because as much as, like, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would have liked to have just gone to the movie, like with the trailers that would have
Straight
released and
in,
be
yep,
like,
yep.
or not even watching the trailers, oh, like, what's the story? Here we go. So any mystery that would have been present, and like RDJ might have had a hand in this too.
He might have. I
might
feel
have
like he
been
was.
like-
I feel like he's involved. But,
Yeah.
you know, again,
So-
hearsay. But,
I think the mystery was killed, but in turn,
yep.
hype was built.
So, do you think it was like genius marketing, or was it like the biggest spoiler
It's the
Marvel
biggest
could
spoiler.
really? You think?
Yeah.
So if we had to pick one, you know, it's a Q&A here. Genius marketing, Marvel's biggest spoiler drop. You think the spoiler? So, knowing
But
how much the
I
internet
think it
warriors
was-
like ourselves sometimes hate spoilers, why? I just think it was.
I think it was one begat the other in terms of. I think it was a massive spoiler that ended up being genius marketing instead of genius marketing to make.
Do you think they rolled the dice?
Yes.
You think they just said, we're going to do this, we're going to commit to this, do it, and whatever flack happens, it's going to be good, because bad publicity is good publicity.
Yes.
Right?
And I think that they had enough balls behind it. The fact that it was like, we know we've got the Russos directing. Yeah. We know that the Russos they print gold when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. We know people are going to come see this. Yeah. We're going to roll the dice, but we're fairly certain that this is going to hit.
And you know what? I'd like to think, when I first seen this, I was like, did Marvel just remove the shock factor from the seeing it in theaters? But I want to flip the script on that a little bit, because the more I've thought about it before we've ever even filmed this video, is I don't know if they would have avoided spoilers enough to stop it. So I think that's what they did. I think they said, we have a hand of cards. There's a mirror behind us. Do we just want to lay them on the table and play open face, or do we want someone to report what we're doing?
If this would come out,
so it might have been smart.
If this whole thing was 20 years ago, yeah, they probably could have gotten away with it. But with the wherever they've been filming, like there's leaks that always happen. Everyone is constantly online now. So yes, it could have been I could definitely see the ploy of like, we need to get ahead of this.
Yeah. So again, assuming, let's say the chair reveal still had not happened to this point right now filming, what do you think the biggest theory or news article or whatever would be about Avengers Doomsday right now? What would be dominating the internet when people would be thinking about what's to come? Because I mean, we are 6 months out, give or take, 7 or 8 months. What would be the talking point right now?
Who's Doom?
Who is Doom?
Yeah, as in, like, are you saying that not only did including the RDJ?
Oh yes. What, like, just the chair reveal? If that never happened, what right now would be the talking point of Marvel's Avengers Doomsday?
Well, we don't know the teams. We wouldn't know the cast. Obviously, only thing that we would know would be the teaser trailers.
Yep.
With Chris Evans, not Captain America.
Right.
Chris Evans, Thor, Love.
The
X-Men. And the
Shuri and Ben Grimm.
Team D.
Plus RDJ's already being Dr. Doom. So with all those 5 things, things...
Who is Doom? Where did he come from? How is he getting everyone?
Okay, what do we want to know about Doom then?
It's the Latveria. We always know that he's got, like, he's 12 steps ahead of everybody. Right. What is the... Like
motive.
Again,
what is the motive? I think.
Where has they already did the whole thing of like, Wakanda was always around, but you just couldn't see it. So what are they gonna do? Like, well, Latveria was always around.
They also have a dome. Yeah, no, I get it.
Atlantis was never around, but now he's here. And guess what? Now there's Latveria.
I'm trying to think of, like, at this point, we would have been sat here now, no trailer drop, because there's only been teasers. So there still is no trailer yet. I know, when we're 6 months and 24 days away. I'm just wondering, like, what would we be talking about if we had nothing to talk about? You know what I mean? We would be just...
We'd just be focusing on
We'd just be doing theories, essentially, and you wouldn't know anything. Without the chair reveal, who would you think would still be the most shocking character that fans would have no idea was in this Avengers. Like, you know who's coming.
Is this question directed as who was revealed on the chair reveal?
That right now we wouldn't know, but when they are revealed or were revealed, people would be like, holy shit.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's not Danny Ramirez. No offense.
No, but like, okay, so we're sitting here now, chair reveal hasn't happened. Maybe the trailer drops tomorrow for Avengers Doomsday and we get X character, whatever. Who do we need to see on that screen if we hadn't known the chair reveal, but it was one of the characters that was revealed? Who would we see and be like, holy crap, they are bringing this person in? Take a second. People at home, please comment down below. Who do you think would be that person?
I think, honestly, I don't think they're going to be a major player, but I think it's going to be that confirmation of what we were talking about after the X-Men trailer. Kelsey Grammer.
You think?
I think so. It's like, well, now there's more X-Men coming.
Fair enough. Okay, and what does that change now if and when we found out, ooh, there's more X-Men, and we know there's more X-Men. Some X-Men names not even revealed, like, say it again, Famke Jensen. I can't even say it, sorry.
Famke Jensen.
Yeah, and Halle Berry. Two big names that are not revealed. So do you think we would have been waiting on those names?
Anna Paquin.
Yeah, like, do you think we would be here waiting for those?
Yeah, because I think, again, like if we were looking at the chair, because again, if you sat and were getting the updates, you're like, you'd see one and be like, ooh, what's next? Who's next? Who's next? And then you'd be making theories about that. And I think Kelsey Grammer was one of those ones that was just like, okay, now we're getting that band back together. Yeah,
exactly. And I was just about to say, we knew that would have been the point where the OG X-Men were locked in, I think.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
From it's kind of an aside, is there anyone on or not on that chair reveal that if we see in the Doomsday trailer or even the theaters,
like that's not even revealed at all?
Yeah, we'll just be like, who would that? I've got one, and I mentioned this earlier.
Okay. Oh man, you got to make me think here. Start with yours. Let me think. You're putting me on the spot, so you say yours, and then I'll let me reel it in.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Okay.
Why? Scarlet Witch returning. Yeah. This is the time she decides to come back. And that's why if we had seen the first class of Evan Peters, we'd be like, ooh, we can get the parallel for this now, even though he's a different Quicksilver. So then if we saw Aaron Taylor Johnson, and we'd have potentially two Quicksilvers, which I think would be good. But again, the more people you add to this, the more money you're spending. Yeah.
I really don't know who's someone that I can, as much...
John Bernthal.
No. You know what? Someone who would shock me being in Avengers Doomsday, honestly, and it might be a little bit of a cop-out, but I'm going to say it anyway. I want to say Tom Holland, because I don't think he's in it. But you know what? I'll just go off script a little bit from that. Tom Hardy. If I seen Tom Hardy, you would know like Venom or some shit's in that den.
Yeah,
but you asked me who would I be shocked?
Yeah, but I wouldn't like that because
we never said who we liking.
No, but that's not how he's supposed to get the suit.
Well, listen, I'm just saying that I think, and the reason I would be so shocked is that would essentially open up also the Sony universe of characters to be able to
Morbius.
Whatever.
Wow.
Well, you know what? We're here talking about the characters we have not seen at all. Whose name would come up that we would jaw drop. But I want to ask something pretending the chair reveal has happened. Okay? Well, it has. Who is the biggest name that when it was revealed in that moment, because that chair reveal, as you know, was 5.5 hours long if you sat through the whole thing live. What name appeared in those chairs that you think stirred Marvel fans and us and was like, oh my God, they are in it?
The Thunderbolts.
You think?
Yeah.
Really? Even as fresh as the Thunderbolts were going to be?
Well, I already mentioned the Kelsey Grammer thing because, like, okay, we're getting more of the X-Men back, but like again,
you think they changed the perception of all of us we would have had before going into the chair reveal? That when one of the Thunderbolts' name, everything shifted?
I don't know because it's not the same.
I got mine. I know who mine is.
There's like from the people that we already knew because a bunch of them were already in. Like we saw Chris Evans, we saw Chris Hemsworth, we saw James Marsden, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. We saw Letitia Wright, can't remember his name, guy who plays Namor. And so we saw Ben Grimm, I can't remember his name either. But then we saw Pedro Pascal, all of them too. So like of the 12 that were left, Kelsey Grammer was one of them, but it was still like, I think it was the fact that like, okay, we're still including the new Avengers. Because again, Avengers.
Yeah.
The new Avengers. So I'm feeling that like we didn't see any trailers with them yet. So Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour.
Yep. Ghost.
Her. And Pullman. It's not Bill, because that's his dad.
Yep. No, we suck at this.
Henry? No. Harvey?
But listen,
Emberding?
I gotta shift. I think I'm gonna say you're wrong. I know we're theorizing. I'm gonna say you're wrong because I think the moment that Tom Hiddleston's name appeared on one of those chairs, I think even now, I think people
forgot
shifted,
that his name was on there.
Right? So we thought not only was Loki removed from Avengers Endgame and Infinity War early, etc. We did get the 2 seasons, but let's call space a spade. We don't often associate the shows with the movies. And
I really got to go back and watch Loki.
I'm telling you now, I think when Tom Hiddleston's name came out on that chair, we were like, because we know where he's sitting. We know where he's sitting.
Yeah.
Right? He's sitting somewhere behind this glass pane.
Like right?
Yep, right there. Back there. And
I wonder if you can see the horns in here.
Yeah, I know. It would be crazy if they just appeared behind us right now. Imagine if the trailer just started playing right now behind us. It was like... But, you know, he is supposed to be what? God of stories, right? We do believe now, knowing what we know, that Loki is going to be a very integral part. He's due. Is he not due?
I don't know. He's had his moments.
Yeah, in his show. But, like, he's not... Like, I do believe, like, is he going to go toe-to-toe with Doom?
No.
What's his... Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. What is Loki's place in Avengers Doomsday?
Bringing everyone together.
You think that he's the
one that's tying all the threads together.
He's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
You think? Like, okay, explain. I'd like for you to explain, if we have a few moments, how or what. How is he going to do that? Like, what do you mean he's going to go?
He's all knowing.
Oh, this X-Men team from this universe is, out of all of them, the most powerful.
He's the Doctor Strange. This is the aspect of it now. He sees all time and everything, and he's sitting on the chair with what was the tree called? I know it's Yggdrasil.
Yeah, it was the tree at the end of time or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So I believe he's like looking at it like, this dude's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this and this and this and whoop.
Okay.
Have fun.
Okay. I'd like to see a little more. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong or, your theory is wrong. I just would like to see more. I guess that's not it.
I'd like to see or hear him narrating the teaser.
That would be dope.
I don't want to see any Doom. We've already been ruined with RDJ. I don't want to see any Doom, and I want to hear Loki narrating. Much like
there
Thor.
Was an idea.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? That wouldn't be bad if he were to do the Nick Fury speech. There was an idea.
Yeah.
It was formulated for to bring forth exceptional people in time of crisis.
Yeah, and maybe alter it a little bit.
And then he's just like, it was me. And just like, did I do that? Like,
you're on to something.
It could be.
Peter, before we take this out, the last question I want to ask you, and those at home, is we factor in now. We come back to reality, so to speak. We've seen the chair reveal.
We snap back to reality.
We snap back to reality. Oh, there goes
Gravity.
Anyway, we are here now. We've seen the chair reveal. We've seen all the trailers that we've seen, the teasers. We know about RDJ. We are here at 6 months, 24 days, 4 hours, and 29 minutes remaining to the Avengers Doomsday. Who in the realm of heroes or characters do you think is plausible that we still have not seen that we want to see? Or who are we hoping that is not so likely, but please, Feige, give it to us?
I'd like to see as much as I don't think he's going to be in it.
Okay.
I'd like to see Hugh Jackman.
Of course.
As Wolverine, and him find this new team, and him be like, I thought I killed you, oh my God.
Yeah.
But then, through the realm, we wouldn't see Deadpool.
Yeah.
But he's like,
I know a guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Spider-Man. Like it's
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Got to be specific here.
Yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I do see another Spider person.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Are we ready for Spidey-Gwen yet?
I don't think we're going to see Spider-Gwen.
Not in this scenario, at least.
No, because I can't imagine that they would just introduce a new spider just in this.
I know it's fresh, but I would love to see Charlie Cox appear, just coming off the heels
that's
of
gonna be hard.
It's hard, I know, but you know,
Because
it's
again,
somebody. It's more of a wish than a plausible.
He's so street level.
Yeah,
like
same with Jonathan Bernthal's Punisher. Like, I would love to see him just be on screen
for like a split second.
Yeah,
like
but you know, we're probably bound to lose some heroes here too.
Well, we do know that they have said that there is someone.
Danny Rand, the Iron Fist.
I think Bucky's gonna bite it.
You think?
I think
his time is due.
Yeah, because he just signed on for the DC. Well, he's going to be in the Batman too. So I think he's like, well, that's my
true. I'm trying to think.
What's
some villains do you think we could possibly see here in Avengers Doomsday? Because I know Doom is the main guy, but he's got to have henchmen, doesn't he? Like maybe a villain from each universe. Like, you know, who's to say we don't see like an Omega Red show up?
Well, we've already mentioned that like this is Chris Evans.
Yeah.
This is a Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's our Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Because again, they'd have to explain the whole being old and all that crap again too. I don't know. Like, that's just going to be a whole wibbly wobbly stuff.
Yeah.
Someone that has already existed within the MCU. We've already used the Hulk because...
There's a huge palette there. And you know what? I know we're getting the Hulk, but I want to see the Hulk. You know?
Oh, I think we're going to see the Hulk in Brand New Day. I think we're going to see
the Hulk? Like the Hulk?
Yeah, I think we're going to see Unhinged
perfect.
Hulk.
That means he'll be right ready for Avengers Doomsday then.
Yeah, but then just like all the other ones, he could be like, oh, come on, guys, you're embarrassing me. Maybe we get to see Hulk's son that was mentioned.
Scar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of loose ends that maybe Loki could tie up for us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our full theoretical breakdown of what would we know if the Marvel chair reveal for Avengers Doomsday never happened. I think we had some really good talking points there. I hope you at home have some really good talking points, and drop them in the comments, and make sure you leave that CinemaCon trailer spoilery stuff out of our DMs, right? As always, if you want to become a day one real one, make sure you hit our subscribe button, and hey, hit the like button, hit the share button, and like I said, drop that comment for us down below so we can continue this chat with our fans back at home. And with that, I am the real Jossie.
I'm Peter Parkour, and like we always say around here, keep it real.